welcome back. I am Sage and you are watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. And this is the last show of the day, the last trade. So let's get started with the market close commentary. The ASX opens the week on a tepid note. The benchmark index ASX 200 traded lower in the initial trade, and by lunchtime it entered the green zone and added few points only to once again trade in the negative. Towards the close, ASX 200 lost 5.10 points and traded at 7,055.60. 3 sectors traded higher while 8 sectors traded lower. Consumer staples performed the worst, followed by utilities and others. At the end of day's trade, financials were the best performing sector, followed by materials and others. Perenti Global Limited from materials traded higher after announcing that its subsidiary has received Newcrest Mining Limited's letter of intent for the development of an underground exploration decline at Red Chris project. And now moving on to the Asian market highlights. On Monday, the Asian stocks were in the green. Asia Pacific's MSCI's broadest index outside Japan was up by 0.3% to reach its highest since the 18th of March and crossed critical chart resistance of 700 points. The Chinese shares were near 3-week highs, with blue chip CSI 300 index increased to its highest since the 6th of April, up by 0.4%. New Zealand shares rose by 0.6% and South Korea's Kospi index was also up by 0.4%. Japan's Nikkei increased by 0.1%. 10-year US Treasury yields were near to a recent 6-week low. The US dollar index fell to 90.739 against its significant peers. Gold climbed to $1,778.92 US an ounce, up by 0.1%. The US crude increased by 4 cents to US $62.18 per barrel, and Brent remained flat at US $66.11. Meanwhile, copper hits its 9-year highs on surging industrial demands. The copper prices rocketed to 9-year highs amid ramped-up industrial operations worldwide, supported by the rollout of vaccines. Copper futures for July delivery traded at $4.36 US per pound, up 0.29% on the 26th of April 2021. That's current as at 10:48 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on the COMEX. The prices of the red metal are supported by Joe Biden's mega US $2.0 trillion infrastructure plan. A better than expected US and Europe economic data released last week also contributed to a surge in copper prices. A surge in copper demand for green energy transition due to its wide applicability in electric vehicles, wind turbines and solar panels has also contributed to the bull run. Another big news on coronavirus front, India reports record numbers of cases and the US extends support. India is going through a devastating second wave of coronavirus crisis, where the country's healthcare system has collapsed on the back of record numbers being recorded every day. Hospitals across the country are turning away COVID-19 patients due to a shortage of oxygen and beds. On Sunday, PM Modi said this wave has shaken the country and he urged citizens to get vaccinated and follow all the guidelines to safeguard themselves and others. The US said it was deeply concerned about India's current situation and extended to help the country in dealing with the crisis. US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the US is working with partners in India to deploy additional support to the country. And now, a look at the Chinese strategy to boost spending. As the retail sector in China recovers from the COVID-19 impact, China is all set to launch a promotional activity series comprising a new consumer goods expo. It will be launched in May in southern Hainan province to push the spending. In China's dual circulation economic strategy, expanding domestic consumption is a priority. China has entered a long 5-day holiday and after on 1st May in Shanghai as the country kicks off a 1-month-long spending campaign. For half a month, e-commerce platforms would also offer travel, food and cultural as well as sporting products. Moving on to the stock market movers today. Financial research firm Citi has raised the price target on Accent Group Limited to $3.10 Australian, up from $2.85, after the retailer announced acquisition of youth apparel brand Glue, as per the Refinitiv data. Glue currently has 21 stores in Australia and Citi sees potential for an additional 39 stores over the medium term. It expects new stores to generate about 20 million Australian dollars in core earnings. The broker sees further upsides to its estimate given opportunities available to AX1 to improve Glue's profitability by negotiating lower rent, slashing discounts and revamping the in-store experience. The areas of risk include the apparel business being prone to write-downs and AX1's pursuit of multiple growth opportunities resulting in competition for management time and company resources, as per Citi. The brokerage has downgraded rating to neutral from buy, considering a 25% jump in share price over the past month. Accent Group Limited shares maintained unchanged at 2.890 US Australian dollars. The share price of Perenti Global Limited rose as much as 4.2% to 1.13 Australian dollars per share as the company's unit has received a letter of intent from Newcrest Mining Limited for works at the Red Chris project in British Columbia, Canada. Perenti Global expects the contract to generate about $38 million in 16 months, and the stock proved to be the top percentage gainer on the metals and mining subindex AXMM, though Newcrest Mining Limited shares fell as much as 2.5% to $27.66 Australian, and by market close Newcrest Mining Limited shares gained by 4.147%. The share price of Fatfish Group Limited gained as much as 13% to 0.130 Australian dollars per share as the company shared it has entered into a legally binding agreement to acquire a strategic 55% stake in Malaysia Incorporated PayDirect Technology, SDN BHD, a leading payment gateway solutions provider based in Malaysia. The tech firm stated PayDirect operates Quick and Pay, a payment gateway technology solution that allows financial institutions to rapidly onboard merchants to accept online payments. Fatfish Group will be investing $470,000 Australian dollars in cash considerations for the 55% stake in PayDirect. Its stated acquisitions will have impactful synergies with its buy now, pay later rollout. Fatfish Group Limited shares were up by 6.521%. The share price of late-stage drug development company Paradigm Biopharmaceuticals Limited traded a tad bit lower today as the company provided an update on its IND application to the US FDA for the proposed pivotal clinical trial treating subjects with pain related with knee osteoarthritis. Paradigm has earlier reported it submitted its over 30,000-page IND application to the US FDA on 26 March 2021, followed by the company receiving a few questions from the FDA, to which the company replied immediately. Now, Paradigm Biopharmaceuticals has undated that FDA will send further questions to the company related to the subject. Paradigm Biopharmaceuticals Limited shares declined by 5.883%. The share price of the stock Next Science Limited gained up to 25.352% to reach $1.78 Australian per share as the company shared it has received 510K clearance from the US Food and Drug Administration for the sale of Experience TM, no-rinse antimicrobial solution, as a medical device in the US. Experience TM enters the market as a single-step application where the residual solution remains in the surgical site after closure and continues to help defend against pathogens for several hours. This gives surgeons a simple and effective adjunct to help prevent surgical site and post-operative infections. Next Science Limited shares zoomed by 22.887%. Thanks for your time watching. That is all for today. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. from the Kalkine TV studios here in Sydney with trending market updates and the latest news that affects Australian markets. And this is Sage signing off.